Yeah.
So I'm eating a pretzel. Are we officially starting now?
Yeah. That's actually going to be an hysterical opening.
We start.
Behold, Brandon. This is where he chokes to death on a pretzel.
Yeah, these pretzels are making me thirsty. We had a whole. While we were prepping for this episode, as you can see, we have pretzels today because we need some like palate cleansing in between brews, and we're talking about Seinfeld and the impact that Seinfeld had on NBC in terms of like getting the Olympics and everything, and well, I can only hope that Adult Beverages will have the same impact on something.
Absolutely.
I mean, I do feel like I feel like now that like my writing's getting better.
I find it really interesting. So the last episode we did was quite an involved episode. It was one of the long ones, but more than that, I think it was like a step up in terms of the writing I thought was really good. You did multiple storylines.
Yeah.
When we filmed it, we did a multitude of different camera angles, and I think a lot of what we did was really good. But to me, especially when highlighting, when editing, it highlighted the stuff that we need to work on. Like, we work with a guy called Jay Leibs. Hey Jay, if you're watching this, from Leibs Media.
We'll include a link to his YouTube channel below, right here-ish.
And so Jay was like taking the lead with his camera setup and stuff like that. And when you can see when you're watching the footage from that camera, the sound is crisp and perfect. The camera is great. And then I have two cameras, one of which looks great, sound's not perfect on. The other one doesn't look perfect, but the sound is pretty good on. And
which one are we filming with right now?
The one that looks great and the sound should be good on it.
But, oh, okay, good.
Yes.
Nice.
So that was really interesting. It's funny, in my current job that I'm doing at the moment, I'm doing a lot of video stuff, and it's kind of, I'm getting almost a crash course in upping the video game. So it's interesting to have the opportunity to do adult beverages at the same time, because I think, I think things are going to go up, and
I think they are going to improve a lot. Because I think I liked when we were doing the multiple storylines. First of all, I think it was easier to film because we didn't need all four of us at one time. But I think it also makes it realistic because when we first started filming, the four of us did hang out a lot. But then, like life changed, and I think like I'm here a lot, and Mark is usually doing other things, and we kind of went from like when I first started writing, I wrote about this like idealized version of like what our lives would be, and we got to that point, and then we've kind of like, I don't want to say we've gotten away from it, because I feel like we've had like varying degrees of like getting closer to it, but like you had like an office job, went to the full-time writing thing, now you have the office job again, and then I was I owned my own business, went to not owning my own business, and like now I work in a firm, so like I've kind of like, I steered away from it in one aspect where I don't own my own business anymore, and I work for somebody else now, and now I'm back to, but now like I kind of brought it back where now I work in an actual architecture firm.
Yeah,
where like I wasn't, like a year ago I wasn't doing that.
I find it really, I've always found this, because I've been writing, like, my character's a writer, but I am a writer. I wrote novels in my spare time, and I've always found this weird thing of art, as in your writing, imitates life, because you base what you write on as in the experience is life. But as we found, life often imitates art, and when you write stuff, things follow. And then
I was gonna say, we had the whole like law of attraction thing where like we kind of slowly started piecing. Yeah. Like things did start to piece together like that.
Yeah. So I mean, when you wrote it, I had this boring office job that I hated, and then my idealized version of myself was a guy who wrote novels for a living, and then a few months later, I was writing novels for a living.
Right.
And it was funny because it was like that's something that I could have done, and I ended up taking another job and having stuff like that. But that's where I'm going to be again. And it was just interesting. Anyway, I suppose
let's drink. People want to see us drinking.
Okay, so yesterday we did a Coney Island beer. Why don't we stick with the New York stuff?
Okay.
For the next one, another beer out of a can. So this is from Six Point Brewing, which I believe is in Brooklyn. No, Brooklyn, New York. Here we go. Formulated and brewed by Six Point Brewery. I've had this before. Brandon hasn't. This is.
I've had this one. Isn't this the one with like the stripes?
Yeah, it's the Bengali IPA, and you'd think Bengali would have some like evocative reason for it, because of course it's India Pale Ale. The reason that the type of beer, India Pale Ale, it was created by the British during the 1800s, when the East India Company had sort of colonized India, and they wanted to make a British type of beer that they could take out to India, but the problem was the beer would turn sour on the boat out there. So the only way they could do that was like really, really over hopping it. So they created an India version of the traditional pale ale, which was like very, very strongly hopped. And so when I heard the name Bengali, I thought, oh, Bengali, like the Indian tiger, it must have something to do with that. Turns out to be nothing of the sort. So this is an American IPA. They call it Bengali because once they tested it and tried it for the first time, they noticed that, like all good beers, it left, every slurp that they had left like a stripe of foam on the edges, like a tiger's stripes, so they called it Bengali. So that's kind of cool, I like that. And as far as American IPAs go, personally, this has always been one of my favorites. And I love that story. I just think it's really cool because, yeah, the name defies expectations. There we go. There we go. What do we have? We have nice, big, thick foam. Here's kind of a little bit of cloud to it. Not overpoweringly hoppy when you smell it.
Nope.
It's like, there I am, like,
Brandon's
like, straight to the face.
Drink. Listen, I babysat your kids for like 3 hours before you came home. So.
Yeah, that's true. It's lucky this isn't like, let's try pints
Something
of lager, pints of whiskey.
Right.
But, I mean, this is
a lot hoppier than I remember.
Yeah.
It's still good.
It's still good. I mean, it's quite aggressively hopped on it. It's not OTT.
It's not what?
OTT.
Oh, OTT. I thought you said OGT. OTT, yes.
OGT. What could OGT stand for?
I don't know. Over
goddamn top.
Over goddamn top. True.
I like that. It should be OTGT. Over the goddamn top.
OTGT.
Okay. We just copyright. 2018 Adult Beverages. And look, if you look at the glass, I mean, look at both our glasses, it really does cling to the side. And I always got taught that that was the sign of a good beer, that if it clung to the side of the glass. So, I don't know.
This is a great. It clings to the side.
Yeah. So 6 Point Brewing, that is a really good, consistent IPA.
Yep.
I am kind of over IPAs as it goes, but I will always be up for a glass of yours. So, good job.
Thanks, 6 Point. See you guys tomorrow.